So yes, people, welcome back to the channel. And is it sack Amorim or Amorim is going to resign? So that's the discussion that we want to have right now, because I don't know why every time during this time of the year we must be in discussions whether where we are supposed to be uh, potentially sacking our managers due to poor results. So Amorim, since Amorim arrived at Man United last year, November, he hasn't had uh, the required, record that of course everybody else thought he'd had, because of, he did some very good work at Sporting. So we brought in this guy because of his system. I mean, United went for him because of the different system, the back three and all that, the system, this philosophy, yeah. But unfortunately, the results are not promising. Of course, Man United board, they may be saying it's only fair to judge Amorim at the end of the season. They might be saying they support this manager, but he has to deliver. He has to win games, and the fact that he's not winning games due to reasons, there are a lot of reasons in this. Other people may argue the system, other people may argue the manager, other people may argue the board, other people may argue the players themselves, but I believe there are a lot of reasons as to why Man United is performing the way it's performing right now. And given that the manager is the one who's normally responsible for most of the decisions in terms of gameplay, that is why we want to discuss. Because as you right now, you must have heard that there are sources that Amorim is either is going to be sacked, although I'd like to not agree with that, because I think just the other day the Man United board said they support this manager. And then the other issue is that Amorim might, there are sources within Manchester that Amorim might resign before he gets sacked. So I don't know. We've now been linked with more rumors than points. Actually, the club is getting. We have more rumors than the points we are getting in the Premier League. I mean, because so this one is another one that Amorim possibly can resign before he's sacked. So resigning, I don't think Amorim is really can really take the option of resigning, because basically he'll be throwing in the towel, because it's like it's a war. It's like it's a battle where on the other side we have the fans, us, we have the media, we have everybody else that is opposing Amorim, and on the other side is Amorim and maybe a few players that he likes to start in the system. These are players like maybe Maguire, maybe Casemiro, maybe, because these are players that Maguire is always saying that it's not on the manager, it's us players, we need to be doing better. So it's like it's a battle, it's a war between us and Amorim. Amorim, the stubborn one, he doesn't want to adapt. He doesn't want to tweak his formation a little bit, because he's desperately he needs to show you that you are all wrong and I am the man, I am the owner of the system, and it has to work. So we are on the other side trying to tell him that this thing, we've tried it enough and enough every time and now, and we're not getting any different result. It's time you have to change it, or you have to tweak it a little bit like a normal person will do. I mean, you can't just keep showing up every day with the same tactics and you get the same results every day. I mean, so he's on the other side, he's trying to show you that no, I need just more time and I will change it around. So I don't think he might resign, because resigning is definitely going to be throwing in the towel, and is definitely going to be defeated, and I don't think that's the case. So I don't see Amorim resigning anytime soon. And then on the other part of sacking Amorim, this is roll it back why Man United appointed this manager. After sacking Ten Hag, winning the FA Cup for us, and I think he had us 8th, and then he lost that game to West Ham, and then Man United said enough is enough. Brought in Ruben Amorim as the interim coach, and then went for Amorim. So only to almost nearing, we are nearing his first anniversary at Man United, and he's had losses more than 50% of the games he's played, and so that's not a good record. But we are looking at the squad he has, because Amorim at Man United is linked with the problems. It has something to do with his decision making. It has something to do with the players is been allocated, and it has something to that I'm talking about, the support is getting from the board. We are moving into a new season knowing what the problem is in the midfield. We never got to sign any midfield. That is why you are seeing Man United were desperately trying to get Gallagher on loan on the final deadline. But Atletico Madrid said, no, if only you can opt to buy him permanently, then where we can have a discussion on the table. Then you see, they know where the problem is. They were desperately trying to fix it in a rush for Amorim so that, he can have better tools on the table, something like that. But then they did not do that. That's the number one. The second thing is Amorim's decision making. In terms of players he's been starting, just the other day we saw him starting Luke Shaw, we saw him starting Harry Maguire. In 2025, we have Ugarte on the bench, we have Mino on the bench. He can't leave Bruno Fernandes out of the team. Bruno Fernandes does not fit in the midfield in this system. He only fits as a number 10. We have a lot of number 10s in the team. Bruno Fernandes is the club's captain. Amorim can't leave him out of the team. Just the other day he was saying Mino has to compete with Bruno Fernandes for a spot in the team, and I'm like, how is it possible? So it's a problem that the manager is in there, the system itself is in there, Man United, but it's in there. But the spotlight is on Amorim because he's the one in charge of all the decisions he's making. He's the one in charge of the 11s, that the players that he chooses to face different games. And I just think, Man United may have not provided him with the support he needs, but at least he should be able to use the ones that he has at his disposal wisely. I mean, if you know the 3-4-3, it requires people with legs. You can't seemingly put Bruno Fernandes as the deeper, in the deeper role, knowing very well he's a good attacking midfielder. He's not a player who's going to mark his opponent. And in terms of defending, when we were being hit on a counter attack, Bruno Fernandes doesn't have those legs. So as much as the fault is on Man United board for failing to provide for Amorim, he also has to be held to account. And that is why you are seeing many of the fans are saying Amorim out, Amorim out, Amorim out, and has to be sacked. But how many managers are we going to sack? Sacking a manager, you have no idea where it puts us as a team. We are going to talk about 3-4 years trying to rebuild something again. This is not the first manager we're going to sack prematurely. We've done it before. And for us to rival teams like Liverpool, who've had Ancelotti be there for I don't know how many years, even ourselves, we've had Ferguson build what he built for not less than 3 years. Arteta, who is yet to win a trophy. Of course, he won the FA Cup, but he's yet to win something with Arsenal. Didn't take it for 1 year. And so, all this Amorim being sacked, madness, I don't know, that's my opinion. Let's argue when the Man United board have given him a Baleba, a Mainu, a Wharton in the midfield. We sign in a more experienced goalkeeper like he wanted. And then let this fella fail to deliver when he has the right tools and no excuses. Remember to subscribe, like, and share.